and welcome to Waste Breakfast, where we'll talk about everything governance, self-development, mental health, and of course, entertainment. My name is Godspeed Israel, and I'm joined by my amazing co-anchors, Joy and Oni. Hi, buddies.
Hello.
How you doing? What did they do this one?
The song was to come out.
What song was supposed to come out?
I don't care.
I don't care.
Can you imagine this one?
I don't care.
Why did you not say that word?
We can't. There's some things we don't say on air. So
Wow,
we don't care. We don't
but
care
I
about
mean,
that.
really, shout out to Cade and Boy Spice because
yeah.
I mean,
That music is
that
really
song was
extra.
hey. We literally
bombing,
danced
it's bombing,
ourselves
it's
to
bombing.
stupor before coming on air this morning. To be sincere, especially Joy. I think Joy has a thing with that song. Tell me what you like about that song.
I don't care. I don't care.
Wahala. How are you, Eni? How you doing?
You know, I feel great this morning. I
Okay.
mean, it's a good day to be alive. Don't
Right.
you think?
Understand?
Don't you think? Don't you think?
Of course, I think. Oh my God, I'm actually blessed. I'm very excited. How about you, Joy? How you doing?
I'm grateful. I'm excited. I'm joyous. That's my name. And yeah, I'm super grateful to God Almighty who has just made me see another
Why did
day.
you come late today?
Hey.
And guess what? Only was singing you. What's that? Joy.
So I literally had to like spell it out on national TV that how did you know I came late? I'm on this set.
Kenny,
So how did I come late?
babe, you came late. Take
How
it
did
on-
I
take
come?
it
Girl,
on
you
you.
were
Prove
late.
it. In the law, you have to prove it with facts
Girl,
and
you were
evidence.
late.
How did I
You were
come
late.
late?
Okay, the truth is, there are evidence, but
We don't go by
Evidence
the
we
truth.
feel no
We go by
explain.
facts.
We know if you
We
explain
go by
evidence.
facts and the
So
law. We don't go by the truth, baby.
how come you didn't study law?
I don't care. I don't care. I don't
How
care.
come you didn't study law?
Nah, it's not my father has been pushing for me to study law. So I'm like,
Because
don't worry.
I feel like you actually would be, I mean, you do good.
Yeah, a
being
lot of people
lawyer.
have actually said that, but I told my dad, don't worry, just go and read the book. Come back, give me the certificate, and let me do the practice.
You know, I don't know, what are the criteria really? Like, how would you know that this person is actually good or is fit to be a lawyer? I feel like the process already in Nigeria is actually very draining.
So I think for
I'm
me,
actually studying law, so I can tell.
for me, being
I'm
a lawyer is just.
graduate, so I could tell you that.
Do you
I
get
don't know. I'm a communication graduate. So
I beg you,
I could tell you why. I could tell you why.
I beg you. On those notes, I literally start telling you what the topic is today because really, I mean, look at the energy. You know that shaking table today is the deal, is the goal, is the ambition. Oh my God. Yeah, so today's topic is youth upbringing, remodeling parenting. So I want to talk about parents really. I know last week we talked about strict parenting, right? But this time around, I want to talk about reasons why parents are clueless. Why are parents clueless? Definition of clueless parenting and what are the solutions to clueless parenting. So really that's what it's about. But before we even dive into that intriguing subject, let's take a moment to catch up on the latest headline around the globe. Please stay with us. You're still watching Waste Breakfast. I'll be taking you on a journey across the African continent through the lens of The Nation, a leading newspaper based in Nigeria. The major headline reads, United States of America, others offer to assist in combating kidnapping. Federal government review proposals, we won't pay ransom. There are stage managed adoption in Abuja. Above the major headline, Miyetti Allah leader charged with leading illegal military group. Above the masthead, 10 states paying wage award to workers. Ogun gives students, pupils, 50,000 naira, 10,000 naira. And above the masthead, lawmakers Akeredolu group battle Ayedatiwa. Central Bank of Nigeria give farmers 100 billion naira worth of fertilizers. Niger land air borders reopen after 8 months. Access Holdings appoints AIG Akurede chairman. At the bottom, we have the Federal Executive Council approved 759 billion naira for Obanjana, Bini Road, and Isheri Ogun Road. And that's all for the headline on the Nation newspaper. Now, the headline that caught my attention is the major headline as usual, which reads, United States of America, others offer to assist in combating kidnapping. So before now, we've actually spoken about the whole kidnapping rates, right? About last week we talked about the mass kidnap of pupils, about 280 80 pupils were kidnapped from 2 different schools. You remember we spoke
Yeah.
about that, right? Now, the United States of America have decided, and other countries as well, although those countries' names were not mentioned except America, they have decided to come and help Nigeria. They have decided to come and assist Nigeria in dealing with kidnapping. But guess what? Tinubu said, or the government, they are both the same thing actually, but they said they are reviewing the assistant proposal. So they are reviewing what it means now is they are trying to check on if they would actually agree to their assistance or not. So that's it basically. But for me, I think they actually should, because I mean, America did just start today. Those countries are one of the best countries when it comes to security measures, you know. So I think they should go for it. Let's hear your headlines, Winnie.
Okay, guys, so I'm moving away from the African continent to an international spectrum, and I'm going to be taking today's news from the New York Times. So here for the first headline, we have Trump wing of voting group he stereotypes, modest gains among African Americans. We then have a red line can be more of a smudge. Russian sees advantage in electronic warfare. Equipment is jamming signals Ukraine uses to operate drones. On the right side of the paper, we have special counsel defense claims on Biden's lapses. We then have Alaska Airline planes was set for safety checks before blowout. And least but not last, we have with lackluster growth, dating apps are in need of a spark. Plenty of fish in the sea are not down to pay. And obviously, the headline that stands out to me most from today's paper is the Trump wing of voting group he stereotypes, modest gains among African Americans. So as we all know, the 2024 election campaigns are currently going on in the United States. And what this is pretty much saying is that Trump is trying to win over the votes of the black population in America. And he says this because apparently he relates more to the black population based on certain issues he's experienced recently, quote unquote, like white racism, he claims. And he's pretty much doing this because he has received nearly 4 times the support from black voters than he did in his 2016 campaign. So during his campaign, he's focusing on targeting black populated states to obviously win black votes for his election, which is quite smart, I would say. So let's just see how that goes.
Fabulous one. I literally agree with you. Patient. Seriously, I agree. I think it's a smart one too. John, let's hear your headline, please.
All right, and still on the international space, I would be telling you what is currently happening from the Times newspaper. And the Times newspaper major headline reads, Death from cancer in middle age fall by third. And the top of the newspaper also read, extremist group facing censure to be named and shamed. And at the bottom right, I have US moves to ban TikTok over China links. Now, the story that's really getting to me here is the new US moving for banning TikTok over China links. Now, the story implies that the United States has come to the TikTok company in China to tell them to either sell the company to them or they get banned in the United States. And my own very question now is, if something gets banned in the United States, this was left. I mean, if US can ban something, what is left? So just imagine that they ban TikTok. Oh, I will care. I will so care.
I don't give a damn, really.
TikTok to me has just been. I give them more. Jesus.
You know, that's a lot of people's careers.
That's the point.
But that's like a lot of people's careers.
Exactly.
I
agree. Even Uncle Daniel.
I agree.
Uncle Daniel with the K. Uncle Daniel with the K, definitely. He uses TikTok majorly, right, to blow most of his songs. So most of these musicians, when they bring out their songs, the first place always do, even more than Instagram, is actually TikTok.
It's TikTok. Yeah, so, since those musicians they dance to the song and make it popular.
Even when their dance doesn't make sense. I mean, a musician will just sing a song and then the dance will not make sense, but you just start moving one body there, and before you know, dance has started.
True,
I mean, if they ban TikTok, I will care. I will sincerely care.
From that point, from that angle, I get it.
I mean, this is me to United States. Please, don't ban TikTok. Some of us in this Gen Z, we use TikTok for a living. Please don't ban TikTok because it will be so heartbreaking. I will care. Really care.
Oh my God!
And that's it for me from the Times newspaper.
That's a nice one. Really, I mean, adding to what she said, like I said earlier, I understand the whole TikTokers and their profession and all of that, but personally, I'm not a TikTok person. It's Instagram for life, babe.
No, but see, you know, like saying that is bad, right? Because let me take this show for example. If you promote this show on TikTok, wouldn't that be a gain for
Do
you?
you understand?
Yeah, I get it.
So
no,
this-
I do.
this is a beautiful
I feel like
thing.
somehow, I feel
Wouldn't
like
that be a
somehow
gain for you?
it's a bit misused. I think that's the angle I'm coming from. Somehow I just feel like it's a bit misused.
So it's not even about being misused, right? Now let's take TikTok and let's take Instagram for instance. If you don't sponsor your content, it won't go really that
On
far.
Instagram, yeah.
On Instagram. But TikTok, you don't need to sponsor.
Sponsor.
You can be anybody.
Exactly.
You
And
can be
before you just going back to
anybody.
see it and you're seeing, but
And
the
you have
bad,
that
the painful
chance.
part about it, you see like 1,700 and something views. To
Wow.
like
Juicy.
But
you
it's the views that
people.
matter.
But then again, it's the views
It's
that
the
matter.
views
It
that
means
matter.
that a lot of people,
People have seen it.
1,702
Yeah.
people
I've
have gotten
seen
to
it.
see that content, and
That's
you're able
cool.
to track it.
Yeah.
But with Instagram, I mean, you literally
Okay,
have to sponsor
maybe
it. So
maybe
please,
I would
TikTok,
I'll see
fight
it.
for your survival. Don't let
Wahala.
CS do this to us.
I beg you.
We're all in this together.
So yes, before we go for a break, it's important to inform you that we'll be having a guest on the show ready to shake the table. Our amazing guest is no other person than Adesola Alawo. Please see you after the break.
Resilience is a good thing.
It is.
I mean, as an average human being, you should actually be
resilient,
resilient.
yeah.
So because that's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you running. You know you're running towards a destination. You're heading towards somewhere. You know, that's literally what that's your fuel. But then again, it's for Nigerians sometimes. In today's dynamic global economy, small and medium enterprises stand as unsung hero, playing a pivotal role in driving economic growth, fostering innovation, and creating employment opportunities for millions. Now, according to the World Bank, 600 million jobs will be needed by 2030 to absorb the growing workforce. And believe me when I tell you that the SMEs will be the major employer. My name is Oluwadamilola Ibituri, and I'm on a mission to uncover and reveal the stories of incredible entrepreneurs who are changing the game in the business world. I'll be sitting down with passionate and innovative business leaders as they share their journeys, challenges, futuristic plans, and successes. SME Chats, spotlighting inspiring entrepreneurs, one episode at a time.
Thanks for staying with us. Today we're discussing on the topic youth upbringing, remodeling parenting. Remember, you can join this conversation by either sending us an SMS or a WhatsApp message to 081-8038-4663. I repeat, 081-8038-4663. And yes, call us on 070-2500-7749. I repeat, 070-2500-7749. Joining us now is Adesola Alo, an African-inspired woman, always ready to dress fashion design based in Nigeria. She's an entrepreneur on the road of 12 years. Hi, how are you? Well, let's welcome. How you doing? How's it like coming to the studio today?
Fine, it was very well.
It was well. There's no traffic. Lagos didn't give you bus.
No, I have children while I'm here anyway, so morning school runs, and my son's school is not far from here.
Oh, wow. Okay, it's almost like a route that you're used to. Oh, nice, nice. How you doing personally? How you feeling?
Well. Very, very well.
Sure.
Thank you. Yes.
I mean, when I started coming in, I'm like, who is this beautiful woman? Come on. I'm like, Jesus.
Very beautiful.
I mean, you're looking good, to be sincere. I'm not trying to flatter you. I'm being serious.
Thank you very much.
So yes, I mean, today's topic is around youth upbringing, remodeling parenting. So we are looking at it from the angle of the fact that we have a whole lot of clueless parents, people that just become parents without knowing. No, truthfully, last week we talked about strict parenting. There are parents that don't even know they are being strict. They see it as their own style of parenting, right? So the same goes to clueless parenting. People that they are a bit neglective, they neglect their kids and all of these things. They don't know they are doing that. To them, it's probably just giving the child space, giving the child time. And you know, I feel like I think there's a tiny line between allowing your child be on their own for that time and you neglecting the child. I think some parents don't know the line. So we'll start with the first question, which is, what is parenting? So let's have a good definition of what parenting is and what is clueless parenting, so that our viewers out there would know what parenting is. Because to some people, they think it's to just give birth and, you know, and I'm raised and I'm a picking now. Do you understand? They just feel like, I'm a picking, don't worry. Now God, they push on, we they move on. Do you get? No, seriously, I'm being serious. Not everybody know what parenting is like. So please help us with that.
Okay, parenting is, yes, some people may think that, okay, I'm a parent because I gave birth to X, Y, and Z number of children. You know. But parenting is different to everybody. Parenting is different to everybody in the sense that the way I choose to parent my children is going to be different from the way, when you have kids, the way you're going to choose to parent your own kids. So why that is because even we as adults that have given birth to children, we're coming from somewhere and we were raised in a certain way. And in as much as we have developed to become individuals who are now parents ourselves, there are some certain ways that we were brought up, and we ourselves have grown and have seen that, okay, this is the way my parents have raised me. This I like, this I don't like, or even everything altogether I don't like, and then I decide that this is what I want to do with my child.
Yeah.
So parenting is different for everybody, and there's no right or wrong parenting. The most fundamental when it comes to parenting is how you relate with your child. So communication is very, very important. It's not when that child can talk or when that child is sensible. No, it has nothing to do with that. How you communicate with your child from the beginning is going to determine what the rest of the life of that child is going to be. And even you as a parent, it's going to determine a lot of things. It's going to determine whether that child is going to run and come and meet you in the days of trouble. It's going to determine whether that child is going to call you when they are happy about something. It's going to determine a whole lot. So for me personally, I think parenting is more about how you communicate with the child on a deeper level. Okay. And when I say deeper level, you may say, oh, I have a 2-year-old. How do I communicate deeply with a 2-year-old? There are so many ways you can communicate with a child. Okay. Nobody taught me this, but I learned from my children. I'm a mother today, not because somebody taught me how to be a mother, not because somebody taught me how to raise my children, do like this, do like this, do like this. I'm a mother, and I learned how to be a mother because I was able to communicate with my children. Because you'll be surprised as a parent, you learn a whole lot from children.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Children are different.
Yes.
If you have 3 kids, all 3 of them cannot be the same.
That's true.
I have 2 children. I have a boy, I have a girl. Their personalities are completely different. And I got to realize that while I was raising them, and while I am still raising them, because of their differences in personality, you have to relate with them differently. So parenting is different for everybody. But the most important is communication.
I love it.
I couldn't agree any
I love
better.
it. Okay.
I literally could not agree any better.
I feel so supported right now.
Hey.
No, I feel
Supported
because
with
this
them
is what I
gossip.
said during the last conversation we had. Communication is
key.
just
It's key.
There is nothing like communication. Oh man, I feel so
key.
supported right now.
So yes, 2/3, continuation from what you just said, right? 2/3 of parents in the US, that's the United States, right, says parenting is hard today than it is 20 years ago. With many citing technologies, like, I mean, we have social media,
But
we have
sorry, excuse me,
smartphones.
sorry to interject. Why are we
Okay.
using the US? We live in Nigeria.
Well, I know, I get it. Why we are using the US, I think, I mean, it's from there we actually got the whole technology thing.
But the thing is that you have to understand that the dynamic in the US and the
It's
dynamic
it's
out
different.
in Nigeria
Totally different.
are totally different.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
When a child in the US is going to school, majority of them are walking to school. Some, after a certain age, they're walking on their own, not with somebody, to school.
That was me. That was me, I'd say, yeah.
In Nigeria, even when you're of a certain age, you're not walking to school. You're being driven to school, or you're being accompanied to school, because nothing must happen to you. Nobody must kidnap you.
Yeah.
You mustn't go and meet the wrong person,
Yeah.
so that you're not influenced, so that you're not abused, so that you're not abducted. So many things.
So many things.
So as a parent in Nigeria, it's different
quite
from
different.
parenting abroad.
It is.
Parenting in Nigeria, your brain is running 10 miles per, I don't even know what to call it.
I get it. So I think this takes me to, I mean, you already stay with the fact that the parenting style for Nigerians are quite different from that outside. And I think that has to do with both the economic and the government system as well. That's it, literally.
Not only.
And of course, we have so many social
Because what you just said
societal
now,
factors.
you're saying, okay, we're using the statistics of the US to, come to this conclusion. It's the same way a lot of parents say, oh, in the US, for example,
Okay.
in the US, an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old is using an iPhone 15 and iPhone 14.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. There are so many ways of acquiring this.
Yeah.
But in Nigeria, where
Here you was
When
here.
it comes down to
try out.
religion, yeah.
You're not fit trial.
This
She
is
wants to
where
say
it comes
something,
down.
please.
a 15-year-old is not even holding an iPhone 15, not to not talk of an 8 or a 9-year-old.
Yeah.
But, God has blessed each and every parent in different ways. And then you find some children, 10-year-old with an iPhone 15. That's in Nigeria here. It's not bad. I'm not against it. But the thing is that you ask, what are you overcompensating for?
Yeah.
So that's where a line needs to be drawn.
Yeah.
Because I have a child in secondary school.
Okay.
And I can remember when she first started secondary school, it was a battle. Because
Give
I
us that.
know the child I raised up until primary 6. And I know the values I had instilled in my daughter. I knew the etiquette I had put in my child. And she goes to secondary school. She mixes with a bunch of people. And some days she comes back home and she talks to me. And I'm like, what?
Where did that come from?
Even my younger child, he's still in primary school.
Yeah.
He asked me something yesterday.
Okay.
And he said, in the car, he says, Mommy, what is the Lulu? Or he'll say, some really some things that
Doesn't make sense.
It's not
apart from doesn't even make sense. I won't say it doesn't make sense.
Okay.
A child has no business with it. Some vocabulary.
I get it.
Children have no vocabulary. They have no business with that kind of vocabulary. And me trying to be an intentional parent as much as I can, you know, I'm like, because for me it's very important. I tell my children, your gateways are very important.
I get it.
And what do I call your gateways? Your ears and your eyes.
Eyes, yeah.
What you see, what you hear, it goes on to shape what is inside of you. So it's very, very important. A lot of people, for example, my husband,
Okay.
you know, when we first got married, fortunately for us, like a couple of weeks after we got married, I got pregnant. And from the moment I got pregnant, I said, no more, what do they call this thing? Music video. Is it music channels?
Yeah.
Yeah. No more of that. We're not watching that in this house. Like, what is wrong with you? What's up with you now? As in, I have not even given birth.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, we're not doing it. And then he just looked at me and just said, okay. And my husband and I, we've been married for 13 years.
Hallelujah.
Oh, congratulations.
I don't understand what these ones are doing.
We don't, not to say that people that watch music video is bad.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
But in our house, we are so used to it that you won't find music video in our house. My husband loves music.
Yeah.
He loves music a lot. He's very into music. But you won't find music video in our house. And I'm glad. Now that my children are not as sheltered as they used to be, they are out there in the world and, you know, mixing and doing whatever, you know, they know what is right, what is wrong, what they should watch, what they shouldn't watch, what they should see, what they should not see, those kind of things. And, you know, as human beings, there's sometimes where, even as a child, as an adult, there's sometimes you're tempted to watch stuff.
Yes.
You know? Do you understand? I won't say that that temptation is not there. But when that temptation comes, my children and I, to the glory of God, we have been able to develop a relationship whereby if they cannot even come and meet me, they'll go and meet their daddy. See, while I was watching YouTube, this thing popped up. I saw something. I don't understand and I'm scared. And the father will say, okay, you know what? This is it. This is that. This is that. This is good. This is bad. It all boils down, or rather comes back to that communication I was talking about earlier on.
Okay, so
I get it.
I just have a quick question. So leading back to like the question that she mentioned. So like with all this, obviously we're in this digital age now with the growth of technology and all of that. Like the example you gave, like with your son or your daughter coming back from school, do you think it makes parenting more hard that these kids are exposed to certain things, like they go to school, or like they're like in public, right, and like with their peers or whatever, and like they learn new things from their peers, and like they're exposed to like a whole lot. So like, do you think like it just makes parenting like a bit harder than it was probably like back then?
Of course.
Yeah, yeah.
Of course. Even me myself, you know, I scroll online sometimes and some things I sound like, of course. As a parent, every day you're on your knees and saying, God, please, help me protect this child. Because as a parent, there's only so much you can do. As in, you can only commit to God and say, God, please just take the wheel with these children. My daughter, as in, she's always on YouTube. She likes watching YouTube. And what does she watch on YouTube? She likes all these...
Comedy?
No, not comedy. All these...
All
these girls, that's all these...
Like reality TV shows, also like reality TV shows,
those
right? No,
cartoons.
All these American girls
like
that do all these...
Okay.
And that's in period.
What is,
I think it's
skincare, morning routine.
That's what kids are into nowadays, though. I mean, like my
Exactly.
little sister, she does the exact same thing. I have a 14-year-old sister, and
She's
does
so good. She's so good at it. Even things that I don't even know, things I don't even care for. She'll tell me, oh, retinol, hydrochloric, something, all this. And I'm like, okay. And then she's like, oh, her mask, her face mask. And I'm like,
What the hell is that?
No, but you see, that's the age that
so
they really
she goes online and she watches all these things.
Yeah.
You know, I just have to just say, you know what? God is in control. Because even like I said, even me as an adult, when I scroll online sometimes, even on Instagram, YouTube, you're like,
What's that? Okay.
and she's been wanting to go on what's it called, TikTok.
Oh, no.
Exactly what we just spoke about right now. I'm not a TikTok fan.
TikTok right now for kids, I don't really think is the best to expose.
Exactly.
to
I don't
expose kids.
suggest.
We've been having that conversation for the past 1 year.
My Jesus.
Wow.
And I'm like, you know what, just stick to the YouTube. Because she has a YouTube channel.
Okay.
And when she told me about it, she told me before she started. I'm like, okay, fine, no problem. Because I have a YouTube channel as well.
Yeah.
So I told her, you know, knock yourself out. You know what you should do and what you shouldn't do. But I didn't know she took it seriously. So there was a day last year, summer last year, and I don't even know. I just got something like a notification on my phone. And I just saw my daughter's name, like, then I opened, and then I just saw her videos, you know, just a little girl dancing, you know, all these things, you know, and she got views, you know. It was just like, just an innocent child, just having fun. Just having fun. Then you now tell me to now go on TikTok. I don't have a TikTok, so I don't even know how TikTok operates. I don't even know how TikTok works. And honestly, I don't even really think I have the patience and the time for TikTok, to be honest with you.
Hallelujah. We are both on the same page.
But you should try.
Even
I should try it, but please, I have so much on my plate already.
I get it.
I literally agree with the whole TikTok thing. I don't think that's the place, because my little sister right now, I think that's the biggest thing I regret, was her having TikTok at the age that she did, because now she's exposed to a whole lot of things that I don't think a child that age should be exposed to. So it's very
genuine. Yeah.
We are still on that conversation, but I haven't agreed yet.
I get
Please
it.
don't agree.
All right,
Not until she graduates.
So yes, a 2019 study showed that children of clueless parents are more likely to be victims of bullies. Now, when you have neglective parents, it actually makes, I mean, you're not taking care of your children, you don't know what's going on with them, right? Now, according to the Nigeria Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism, clueless parents can lead to teenage drinking, which brings me to, what are the causes of clueless parenting? What causes it? Like, these parents that become clueless, do you think it's their fault? Who should we hold responsible?
You see, like I said, parenting is different for everybody. There's not a hard and fast route to parenting. There are parents that allow their children to do X, Y, and Z, and those children still turn out well. Everything is the grace of God.
Okay.
Now, when you say children of clueless parents are children that they are victims of bullying,
Yeah.
I won't say I totally disagree, but I somehow disagree, because I'm not a clueless parent, and my daughter was a victim of bullying.
Okay.
I think anybody could be.
No. You don't. Anybody, of course, anybody could be bullied. Now, this is.
And then from my experience,
Okay.
you know, of being a parent that has a child in secondary school, there are so many factors that come in.
Sure.
You are mixing with children from different
areas, backgrounds, yeah.
And bear in mind, because a child comes from a home that, you know, their parents are well off, their parents are, you know, put together, doesn't necessarily mean that that child is the best of the best.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Some of the things that my daughter comes to tell me at home, and I'm like, wow. Because a lot of parents, that's why I said communication is very important.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of children that their parents don't even know what they do in school. Because there was a time that, even as, you know, I love my children so much, likewise every other person who is a parent, I had to tell my daughter that, come, who do you think you're deceiving? I know that this is not what you come home and come and pretend and do nice girl for me. When you're in school, you're like, because I know all that. I've been there, I've done that.
Yeah.
I know what it's like. So, come off the pretense and let's talk. What's up? What's going on? And she's like, how do you know? I'm like, because I know. So, thank God I was able to catch that quick, nip it in the bud. And I think to myself, there are so many other parents out there who are trying their best to be good parents, who are trying their best to take care of their children. But honestly, this social media, this...
I get it.
You just have to
love
shake
it,
your
love
head.
it. So we're going on a short break.
Parenting is not easy. Let's just put it that way. Long and short of it. There's no hard and fast route to it. We all just need the grace of God. Especially now, with all the social media, the devices, the platforms. It's all the grace of God.
I get it. You know, I would even want to ask you on how how the impact has been before. I mean, your parents, the way they trained you, how you were nurtured, and how it has impacted you negatively or positively. We'll talk about that, but we want to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll dive in straight to that question. Please stay with us.
In today's dynamic global economy, small and medium enterprises stand as unsung hero, playing a pivotal role in driving economic growth, fostering innovation, and creating employment opportunities for millions. Now, according to the World Bank, 600 million jobs will be needed by 2030 to absorb the growing workforce. And believe me when I tell you that the SMEs will be the major employer. My name is Oluwadamilola Ibituri, and I'm on a mission to uncover and reveal the stories of incredible entrepreneurs who are changing the game in the business world. I'll be sitting down with passionate and innovative business leaders as they share their journeys, challenges, futuristic plans, and successes. SME Chats, spotlighting inspiring entrepreneurs, one episode at a time.
Thanks for staying with us. So yes, don't forget to, I don't know the reason why you're actually not calling in. I want you to call and contribute to this, to this wonderful discussion we're already having. So yes, ma'am.
Sorry, excuse me, I'm going to call you short there, but this is what I was going to ask you, right? We're talking about remodeling parenting. So this is to me that there is a model already that has been going on for years now. And what we're looking at is how can we remodel it to fit into the current generation and situation we're in. And society, they say, is made up of the family. Family, the smallest unit of the society. So to make a good society, it has to start from the family. Now, my question to you is, while you were having your conversation, your statement, you mentioned that in the US, an 8-year-old can walk on the streets by him or herself. But here in Nigeria, you want to go after your child, you want to ensure that your child is safe, which is actually good. But to what extent can that take place, and how long would that take place? Bearing in mind that at some point, this child will have to live life on his or her own. Definitely. Because I'm going to give you for my example.
That's the scary part for me.
Till I got into university. As a matter of fact, I was in year 2, and my mom was still literally bent on telling my dad, take her to school. And I'm like, I don't get it.
So, for example, to your question, I schooled abroad. I schooled in Nigeria, and I left, and I went abroad, and I went to school. After how many years I came back, my parents were so, as in, you can't go there. You can't go there. They will kidnap you. They will this, they will this, they will that. And I'm like, as in, even me, will I go to where I will allow somebody to kidnap me? As in,
Do you understand?
so it now comes down to what I said. Relationship, communication is very, very important. Like she was saying something, when we went on a break, and she was like, how would you, let me just paraphrase, the way I was raised, how would I compare it to the way I'm raising my children now? How has it helped me, the way I'm raising my children now? And the thing is, what I would say, you can't do better than you know. Yeah. And you can't do what you don't know.
No. Yeah.
And I want to believe that my parents, let me speak for my parents, and a lot of people's parents, they did what they knew.
No. Okay.
They did the best they knew for a whole lot of us. Whether it was right, whether it was wrong, that was all they knew. And they wanted the best for all of us. But growing up, having my own children, looking back, There were some things that I didn't like. There were some things that I didn't, I thought wasn't okay. And I said to myself, you know, when I have my own children or as my children are growing up,
We'll do it this way.
I'm not going to do it that way. I will do it in this way. And for me, the first thing was relationship and communication.
So you didn't have that with your parents?
Not really.
Okay.
But I said, you know, whatever it takes, my children, we will communicate very well. We would have a fantastic relationship. I'm going to scold you. I'm going to yell at you. I'm going to... But you know what? As we are finishing and you know the reason why I'm upset with you, we're going to hug each other, we're going to kiss each other, and we're going to say, I won't do it again. And I will say, oh, next time, I'm not going to shout at you again.
Knowing the reason why, because
Because
parents...
when you are able to come down to your child's level, and probably maybe, for example, say, I am sorry. Don't you ever underestimate the power of I'm sorry. Because it goes a long way. It draws those children closer to you. When you have a child that is close to you and can tell you literally everything and anything, call yourself blessed.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, 100. I can agree.
And I like how she said that, you know, like when you like reprimand a child or a child has done something wrong, you give them a reason as to why. Because most parents just, you know, they'll scold you and then punish you, but, like with no knowledge of like you've actually done something wrong.
Because I don't want to have my child to have that thing. Oh, my mom is just always beating me. My mom is just always shouting at me. In the days, even though some people say don't smack your child, well, I used to smack my children, but
which is normal.
It's
it's not. Some people are against it. Yes.
A little spanking never really hurts.
Exactly.
A little spanking never really hurts.
At a certain age, between a certain age and a certain age,
okay,
I did smack my children. But after a certain age, I said no more.
So what certain age? At what time?
At
what time will you be parents to your kids? At what time will you be friends to your kids?
You can't really draw the line because life is lifing. Things are happening.
Life is
life. Come on. And we are dropping that quote today. Life is life.
And things are happening. Do you understand?
You have to adjust
as
accordingly.
As the wheels are moving, you have to adjust as the wheels are moving.
I get it.
So I'm not going to wake up. I'm not going to go to bed today saying, okay, tomorrow I'm going to be a mom. I'm going to do my mom responsibilities between 10 and 12. Then from 12 o'clock to 2 p.m. we're going to be friends and we're going to talk about all the things that happen in school.
No.
I get
Because there are some times when I pick my daughter up, and at that point in time, she has one hot gist she wants to give me. And all I just want to do at that point in time is just put my head back and sleep till we get home. But she, no, she wants to tell me about who broke up with somebody in school. So I'm like, okay. And as I'm listening, even though half of what she's saying, I don't understand. I'm like, okay. But I will let her know that I have her full undivided attention. She is so happy.
Important, very important.
And if she sees I'm in a mood and I'm not really feeling her at that point in time, before I go to bed, she'll come and maybe, I want to tell you something today, but you know, you're not in the mood in car. Do you know what happened in school today? And that's because it didn't just happen. It's something that has
grown
over time. So I can't say this is how we draw the line between being you know, a parent and a friend and you see, you just, as you see it, as your spirit leads you, you just do it. Because at the end of the day, they are human beings as well.
Yeah, so which is going to bring me to my next question now, right? Disela, you're a mother, and you're not just a mother, but you're I'll call yourself a generational mother. You've happened to see things that has happened in the previous generation, and you're in this present generation. Now, there's this particular phrase that always works, not really work, but I mean, it's been going on for years now amongst the generation of the Gen Zs. And it says, the best relationship between my mom and I is a long-distance relationship. That's just the best. No, I guess. It's a God forbid to you. I mean, trust me, I enjoy your relationship with your daughter and your son. It is so beautiful. But let's not live in denial that out there are a lot of us who are literally saying, you know what, the best relationship between my mom and I is a long-distance relationship. And that has to do with the way our mothers did their own parenting, which still brings back to the topic. We are here just to say, we're not saying take out your parenting skills, but we need to remodel it. So how do we come to that consciousness? Now, how would you speak to those youths out there who are saying the best relationship between my mom and I is a long-distance relationship? How do we curtail and bridge that gap?
So, are you saying that how do we curtail the gap of how they bridge the gap between them and their parent, the relationship?
Exactly.
More like
So
solution.
between their parents and themselves,
How do we
themselves
remodel
and their
that
parents, how
thought?
do we remodel that thought and
of-
reshape it?
Of the best
not
relationship with my
the
mom.
current relationship of the current child.
With that current relationship of the current child or current relationship of the current parent, there is always that gap, majorly between, and I like the fact that you're a mother, right? It is majorly between mothers.
So, for example, let me try and understand you. So, let me put myself in the question. So, are you trying to say how do I bridge the gap between the relationship with me and my mother?
Yes, to say that, okay, take for instance, you schooled abroad, right? And your mom was here in Nigeria. And she will always call you, when are you coming home? I'm like, Mommy, don't worry, I'll come home. Don't worry. Because you know that the moment I'm coming home, Jesus God, you're just going to eat my life. And I just prefer flowing with you, right, from a distance. Just let me be miles away from you. I just want to be miles away from you, then we can flow. The moment we are close, seeing ourselves together, like face to face, there's always a problem. We're always fighting, we're always nagging, we're always shouting, we're always screaming. So how do we bridge that gap? To say, okay, this is what we can do, this is how parents can go about it, and this is how youth can also go about it, so that this gap comes to a close.
That's a very tough question you asked me. Very tough question.
A very tough one, yeah, because it's really eating deep, I promise you.
But I won't say much. All I can say from my own personal experience, I said to myself that I'm going to be very intentional with my children. I don't want this for my children. And that is why I made my relationship with my children my priority.
Number one priority, yeah.
Because of whatever it is. I don't want whatever it is that whatever relationships I have to determine the relationship I'm going to have with my children. Like I said, a lot of our parents, you can't do better than what you know, and you can't do what you don't know. So a lot of our parents, you know, the way they raised us was the best they knew. And to be honest and to be fair, they wanted the best for us. And they thought that this is the best that I can do. Because, you know, there's sometimes with my children, and sorry, let me just put this in.
Okay.
In as much as you may say, oh, you know, this relationship with my parent was not fantastic, you know, X, Y, and Z used to happen in our relationship. She used to make life hell for me and this and that. And the third, you know, with my children, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that. You know, we're going to, you know, smooth sailing. The relationship will be perfect, nice. See, there's something called your subconscious.
Yeah.
You need to be very, very careful because you won't even know when you start doing those things to your children.
I agree.
Because it was instilled in you.
Because the thing is, like, it's not that it was instilled. It's just in your subconscious.
It happens.
So if you grew up in a house that you had a screaming and shouting mother, the likelihood of you doing the same to your child, regardless of however many times you will say, I'm not going to scream at my children, I'm not going to raise my voice at them, and, you know, we're going to speak on low tones and this. You won't even know when one day that child will just do one thing and you're like, hey, and you explode. So, in that instance, you need to be, or rather, we need to be very intentional because those times are going to come.
True.
With regards to bridging the gap between us and our parents or us and our mothers, I don't really have much to say. I really don't know what to say in that regard, to be honest with you. I can only speak for what is before me.
So yes, I mean, that's a fantastic one. I don't know. I literally have learned a lot.
Not just
Do you
you.
get it?
I feel like
I've
if I give birth to a
learned
child today, I know I'm not ready now.
ones.
There's a lot to learn, and hey,
I
thank you so
beg
much.
you.
This
So
learn.
yes, thank you so much for coming, for we having you.
Yeah, this was a very
It has been an interesting one.
Very
really. I've learned a
enlightening
lot.
conversation.
Life is life in. If you don't get anything,
Yeah,
get
that
that
life is life.
Period. Life is life in. So I mean, one thing I'll just quickly add to that is the fact that we actually need to learn extra apart from what we've learned from our parents. I also feel like going outside, watching other people, we'd enhance
Watching other
our
people
knowledge.
is good, but the most important is learning from your children.
So yes,
Everybody is different. And your children, they are all going to be different. They will all have different mannerisms, different personalities.
I like her because she reminds me of
So
my
yes,
mom so much.
that's it basically. Learn from your children. I mean, if you're hearing that from your parents, I don't know what else you want to hear from Gen Z like me, apart from learn from your parents.
Because there was a time I had, my son said to me, I don't want you shouting at me. Just tell me and I will do it.
Wow, okay. Okay.
But my daughter, she doesn't mind.
Wow. So yeah, so we're rounding up from here. We'll be going straight up to the book review. Please stay with us.
In today's dynamic global economy, small and medium enterprises stand as unsung hero, playing a pivotal role in driving economic growth, fostering innovation, and creating employment opportunities for millions. Now, according to the World Bank, 600 million jobs will be needed by 2030 to absorb the growing workforce. And believe me when I tell you that the SMEs will be the major employer. My name is Oluwadamilola Ibituri, and I'm on a mission to uncover and reveal the stories of incredible entrepreneurs who are changing the game in the business world. I'll be sitting down with passionate and innovative business leaders as they share their journeys, challenges, futuristic plans, and successes. SME Chats, spotlighting inspiring entrepreneurs, one episode at a time.
Thanks for staying with us. So we are at the book review segment. The book to be reviewed today, I mean, we've been reviewing that last week, 48 Laws of Power, authored by Robert Greene. So yes, I mean, before now, she already gave you an intro on what the book we're reading. And I mean, I feel like you already know what the book is about. So I'll be taking the 19th law, which is knowing who you're dealing with. Right? Do not offend the wrong person. Now, since people are all different, your actions will affect people in different ways. Be careful of those who will spend their entire life seeking revenge. So, you know, the 48 Laws of Power is a book that tells you that you have power. Know how to utilize it. I mean, just like the first law you spoke about, do not outshine your master. It's a very simple thing. So in as much as you have talent and you know you're better than your master, don't put it in the person's face that you are better than the person, you know, so that the person don't crush you. Since it's above you, you understand? So literally, that's what the book, the 19th law in the 48 Laws of Power is telling you. Know who you're dealing with. So if you want, even though you want to outshine this person or you're better than this person, please be very careful, I mean, so that you don't go and overdo and you get overdone.
And you turn, do you care?
Do you get? So yes, that's it for me. Let's hear you.
So I'll be reviewing the 20th law, and the
Yeah.
20th law states, do not commit to anyone. The law states that it is a fool who always rushes to take sides, so do not commit to anyone's side. And it's splitted in actually two parts. Part one says, do not commit to anyone, but be courted by all. And what this means is that you need to stay in the place of power, stay away from attention, try to stay neutral in the midst of two people, especially when there's a fight. Don't try to get the attention. The way you can get the attention is by just being neutral and quiet. And somebody just frustrated, like, take my side, take my part, and you're just, okay, don't worry, I'm in the middle of it. And that's the best way you can always stay in power. And the second part of it is, do not commit to anyone, stay above the fray. So this simply means that don't let anybody drag you into their fights. Their fight is their fight. Their personal problem is their personal problem. Do not let anyone drag you into their fights. You can stay yourself seeming supportive, seem interested, but don't let them drag you into their fight. And that's how you continually stay in the place of power.
Nice one there. Let's hear you, Ernie.
Okay, so I'll be taking the 21 law or the 21st law.
21 law.
Sorry, the 21st law, and it pretty much states, play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. And what this is pretty much saying is that if you can convince your victims to feel that they are smarter than you, then they would never suspect your actions, because no one likes to feel dumber than the other person, right? I mean, like, if I'm trying to achieve something, I'm not just gonna, you know, be gra. I'm gonna, you know, cool off, do my thing in silence, be smart, act smart, and then at the end of the day, I'll accomplish my goals, and nobody can, you know, hinder my actions or affect me. So I think that's just what the law pretty much says. Play a sucker to catch a sucker.
I mean, that's on period. Do you have anything to actually add into that?
You can relate that to
Quick one.
parenting.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. I get it.
I like that.
So she says, you know, to catch.
Play soccer.
Play a soccer to catch a
Catch
sucker.
Yeah.
Well, your child is not a sucker anyway. One of the best ways of developing or building a relationship with your children
Us
is
behaving like them.
no, bring yourself down to their
To
level.
them. Okay.
When you bring yourself down to their level, they are able to see you, and they are able to relate with you in a way, and they feel safe.
Yeah.
They feel they can be vulnerable. They feel they just feel very safe because we are literally showing them that we're on the same level, and you know, you might even be sharper than I am.
Yeah.
And then say things, you'll be surprised. Because when you just play it, I don't know what to say.
Simple and calm.
I'm
after
calm.
playing, you know.
And they're just like, I don't know.
Love it.
Best review
Love
so
it.
far.
Love it. So, yeah, I mean, today has been an interesting one, and I know you've learned a lot, just like I have. So, yes, I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, same presents, same vibes, shaking tables. And yes, I've always told you, if you take breakfast, don't forget to take dinner. Don't eat in the afternoon. Go and watch my mentors in the evening. They dish out, what do they call that now? They dish out excellence, they dish out brains. They dish out sense. For those people that don't have common sense. I'm just joking.
That's the 101.
So yes, I mean we'll be going somewhere. I don't know where we're going to, like I always say, but I mean I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you, Desola.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming.
Really learned a lot today.
Bye.
Bye.